Right now, News 9, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is pulling troopers from metro interstates. They say to handle a rise in rural calls. I'm Robin Marsh. How this is impacting local law enforcement and city drivers here in OKC. And this.
She was a friend, a sister, a daughter. Loss of life, there's no exchange. There's nothing that can replace what they just took from me and my family.
An Oklahoma father speaks about losing his daughter to gunfire outside a Bricktown movie theater. I'm Colby Thelen. How he hopes her story now sparks new safety measures downtown.
I'm Megan Gold, tracking a little rain on the radar this morning, headed for a hot and a dry weekend. More on your 9-day forecast. It's coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
And good morning, 6 a.m. on our Friday morning. I'm Robin Marsh here with Colby Thelen. We start with some breaking news on the south side of the metro. Let's take you live to the scene of a rollover wreck that has happened just within the last 30 minutes or so. And this is very slow going right at I-240, basically where I-44 splits to go south to Lawton and I-240 goes east. A rollover wreck this morning. And if you are heading on I-240 this morning, you are going to be slow going there.
Yeah, we saw the paramedics were loading a person onto a stretcher. He appeared to be wearing a neck brace, so we're not sure the extent of the injuries at this point. There also appeared to be another car just in front of it pulled over. That car has since left, so we don't know exactly the cause of this at this point. But if we do have the ODOT camera pulled up, you can see the traffic back up at I-240 and I-44, really going all the way onto the I-44 westbound side.
Yeah, that Lynx 1 camera will show you. So if you're coming from I-40 south westbound on I-44, it is going to be very slow going this morning. There you can kind of see at the top of your screen. That is where the traffic backup is beginning. That wreck is kind of right under the overpass there. Again, at least one person hurt. We're continuing to follow the developments.
Yeah, we'll be sure to bring it to you. Here it is on the map. To give you an idea, generally, this is eastbound side of I-240. We'll continue monitoring the situation as crews now work to get it cleared. Right now, we want to turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center, where Megan Gold is standing by with a look at your Friday forecast. Megan, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Waking up to dry conditions here in Oklahoma City. It is a warm and a muggy start to your Friday. Hope everybody is ready for the weekend. It will be toasty. 72 degrees right now. Downtown view from our Lucky Star Skycam network. Our dew point temperature of 69. And been tracking some storms off into northeastern Oklahoma and far northwestern Oklahoma. A few of those along an outflow boundary have tried to come up into far western Oklahoma. A few showers, and that is about it. Here's the loop while you were sleeping. Again, the complex of storms in the Panhandle kind of falling apart as it's moved eastward, and then the widespread rains with a flash flood warning in effect across Delaware County from all the rain that has fallen there. 79 degrees in the Village to downtown, 76 in Norman, 78 in Edmond, and 73 in El Reno. Statewide 70s, some 60s with the rain-cooled air in the northwest. Winds out of the south. We'll have a south wind here over the next several days, really your entire 9-day forecast, which helps bring in more humidity. Dew points are running in the low to mid 70s across the north. That is just tropical feeling. And our highs today climbed to 95 here in the metro. That's our hottest day since mid-May. We'll talk more about your weekend forecast when rain chances return. It's all coming up.
Megan, thank you. At our nation's capital overnight, a 216 to 213 vote in the House passes President Donald Trump's spending cuts bill. It now heads to the president's desk for signature. The bill would save taxpayers $9 billion by cutting things like certain foreign aid programs and funding for public broadcasting. Supporters say the cuts are about controlling spending.
We want to make sure that it's going to humanitarian aid or what's called soft power diplomacy, but we don't want to spend it on some of the programs that's been spent on the past, so let's just cut that off entirely.
Opponents call the plan reckless, saying it will undermine the authority of Congress to pass funding measures.
It is somewhat of a burden on these other agencies to be able to take those calls for service. It's just the traffic patterns have become increasingly higher volume, and yet we have no coverage on those areas.
Well, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol now defending its decision to pull Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers from the two busiest metro highways in Tulsa and here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, starting November 1st, it'll be up to those metro police departments to take care of their interstates in their jurisdiction. Public Safety Commissioner Tim Tipton, who you just heard from, he says that calls for service in rural areas have steadily increased over the years. In order to answer those calls quickly, troopers will now be deployed to cover every 30 miles of interstates that's outside of those metro areas.
And so now the burden on covering the metro areas affects local police. News 9's Elizabeth Fitz shares police concerns this morning.
It's everything from collisions to road rage incidents to wrong-way drivers to DUI.
Demands on policing in metropolitan areas are already high. That's according to Todd Gibson, chief of Moore PD and the president of the Oklahoma Association of Chiefs of Police. He released a statement on Thursday evening in response to Oklahoma Highway Patrol's decision to pull troopers from the metro. He says, quote, currently OACP continues to engage with all agencies as they assess the full scope of these changes, end quote. In another statement, the Oklahoma City Police Department says seizing law enforcement in the OKC metro area could, quote, seriously diminish our ability to respond to priority calls in violent crimes where response times are critical. Edmond Police also weighing in, saying, quote, as developments unfold, we'll continue collaborating with our community partners to understand expectations and determine how we can best maintain safety and service along this corridor, end quote. Despite uncertainty from metro police departments, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol remains hopeful.
We're hopeful that it will result in the citizens of Oklahoma seeing that the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is in a better place to be able to serve their needs and protect them.
Elizabeth Fitz, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And State Senator Mark Mann has asked the Oklahoma Attorney General for a formal opinion about the troopers' decision on these changes. The senator's office says the request has been accepted by the Attorney General's office, but still needs to be reviewed. All right, taking a look on our traffic report, the breaking news this morning. You are looking live. We've had a rollover wreck right at I-240 and I-44. At least one person has been hurt in this rollover wreck. It happened about 45 minutes ago. Traffic is a big issue here, so very slow going if you're basically taking that I-44, I-240 split by the airport this morning, southbound there on I-44, eastbound there on I-240. Taking a look from one of our ODOT cams, it does look like heavy traffic there this morning, so I think there's some construction going on in that area as well. We'll continue following the morning drive for you across the metro.
Oklahoma City Police say multiple people are in custody following a stabbing yesterday morning. I want to show you the scene near Northeast 16th in Kelly. We brought this to you as breaking news. Police tell us one person was taken to the hospital in critical condition. No word yet on how many people were arrested. In Norman, residents were evacuated from their homes after a gas leak near Berry Road and Robinson Street. This one happened just before 8:30 yesterday morning. Crews were able to shut that gas off before noon. No injuries were reported.
And a Metro man now facing a second-degree murder charge. This is after a 3-year-old child is killed in what police say was an accidental shooting. Oklahoma City police say Anthony Gizzard left a loaded gun unattended on a bed, and that's when the 3-year-old child grabbed the gun. It discharged, killing the child. Investigators say the suspect actually took off from the home right after the shooting, but was arrested the next day. His bond has been set at $5 million. A Metro pediatrician now accused of smothering her 4-year-old daughter to death in Florida is back in court. She was extradited from Oklahoma and is now in Florida.
Yeah, her bond was denied earlier this week. News 9's Kylie Dedman has been following the case. She joins us live with the latest. Kylie?
Colby, Neha Gupta, an Oklahoma City pediatrician, was extradited to Miami from the Oklahoma County Detention Center on Wednesday, and she is now charged with first-degree murder. Last month, Neha and Gupta and her daughter, Arya Tahili, were staying at an Airbnb in Florida. Investigators say Gupta claims she found her daughter in the pool unresponsive, but according to the medical examiner's office, that wasn't the case. According to a warrant, the child did not have water in her lungs or stomach, and drowning was ruled out as a cause of death. According to preliminary findings, the child had injuries consistent with oxygen into the lungs being blocked.
The defendant, Ms. Gupta, said they had a nice dinner, put her to bed. In the meantime, when they do an autopsy, there's no food in her stomach to indicate she had that nice dinner, and her lungs were dry, indicating she did not drown.
The Miami-Dade Medical Examiner Department believes that Gupta attempted to conceal the killing of Tahili by staging an accidental drowning. Gupta's attorneys argued there wasn't probable cause because there still isn't an official cause of death. Reporting live this morning, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Kylie, thank you. Gupta's bond was denied. Again, she's back in court this morning. We're going to continue to follow the latest on this case.
All right, we go to the Bob Mills Weather Center. And Megan, as we come to you this morning, EMSA's telling us they are responding to more heat-related calls out there.
Yes, really need everybody to be taking care of themselves. If you do have plans to be outdoors, make sure you're hydrating. Really heed those warnings and listen to your body. If you feel like you're getting overheated, you're starting to get hot, head indoors. This morning, we are dry here in Oklahoma City, but we do have some clouds overhead. This is a live look from our Norman Regional Cam. 72 degrees, a dew point of 69. And as you plan your day here, we get hot and muggy by the afternoon, feeling like the triple digits, our hottest high since mid-May. Coming up, we'll talk about the rain on the radar turning hot and humid this afternoon and into the weekend. Your 9-day forecast is just minutes away.
Ahead on News 9, President Trump asked for some of the Epstein files to be made public. And the Stephen Colbert Show is canceled by CBS. National stories, and we're following breaking news here in the Metro. A bad wreck near I-240.
Welcome back. We want to take you to this breaking news right now on the eastbound side of I-240, just past the I-44 split. You're looking at a rollover crash that happened about an hour ago now. This is right as you approach May Avenue. We just saw the ambulance leave probably 10 minutes ago from this scene. We saw as paramedics loaded one person on a stretcher wearing a neck brace into that ambulance as it left. So unclear exactly what caused this rollover crash, but it's got just one lane right now of I-240, the eastbound side blocked. So traffic is slow going. The backup extends all the way onto I-44 westbound. You can see that backup right here this morning. It's not the way you want to start your Friday morning. We're going to continue to check with the Highway Patrol and find out about the condition of the driver, the person taken to the hospital, what led to this crash. We'll continue to follow this story. But right now, the big thing, traffic backed up on I-44 and likely going to cause you some slowdowns on I-240 as well.
All right, Megan's here eyeing our forecast on a Friday morning. Out the door forecast, HOT, 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 hot,
oh my
right?
Gosh, it will be hot. Hey, the great news is that we do track more rain chances as we go into the end of next week.
Okay.
So the ridge is going to scoot back to the west. That's going to allow us to go back into northwest flow. We'll have shower and storm chances that do return. We've just got several days of heat to get through. Here's a live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network this morning from downtown to Norman. We do have some clouds overhead, but we are dry as you get going here on your Friday. We have tracked daily rain and storm chances all week long. And by this afternoon, we are dry and we will be dry for the next several days before those rain and storm chances return towards the end of next week. But just make sure you're hydrating. If you have plans to be outdoors, have the sunscreen, all the summer things, you know what to do there. So your out the door forecast here as you plan your day this morning. We're in the 70s. By this afternoon, we warm to around 95 degrees here at OKC. It's our hottest day since May 14th. We have not reached a temperature in the mid-90s here in OKC so far this summer. Check out all the highs from yesterday. We had spots in the northwest. Those of you in western Oklahoma, we were in the 80s, several spots in the panhandle in the 70s because of all the rain around. That rain-cooled air carried into the afternoon. But the bulk of the heat index values in the triple digits were south of I-40. 101 was what we felt like here in OKC. And even though we did have some showers and storms overhead that dropped our temperatures, when they moved out, you were left with just that downright muggy, sticky feeling. Here over the next 9 days, we will have temperatures in the upper 90s, many spots across the state in the triple digits. And then into the end of next week, as we start to track more rain and storm chances, our temperatures may even come down some with more clouds and with rains around. The ridge of high pressure is down to our south. It's going to scoot off to the east here over the next several days. And then again, it takes a trek back to the west, and that is what is going to allow rain and storm chances to return. There's an area of low pressure that was thought to become a tropical depression. It has not. It has since weakened, but it has brought big rains down to the Gulf Coast. Heat advisories, excessive heat warnings are in effect off to the south and to the east. Remember, we had the boundary across northern Oklahoma yesterday afternoon and evening. That is what allowed allowed additional rain and storms to take off. Well, that is now lifting to the north as a warm front. Here's the heat dome. It's overhead here through the weekend. That's why we're so hot. It starts to scoot off here in the coming days off to our east. And then by the middle of next week, look where it goes, back to the west. And that's exactly where we want it to, because after several days of really just a dry stretch, we will need to get some rain and storm chances back in to make sure that we don't get too dry. Well, guess what? Over the desert southwest, those will be the hottest temps. And of course, that's very typical for this time of year for them. So we're dry here over the next 6 to 7 days. And then the end of next week, we'll start to introduce more rain and storm chances. We did have storms across the northeastern part of the state and northwestern Oklahoma during the overnight hours. A complex of storms rolling in from New Mexico, the Texas Panhandle's weekend, and it has since dissipated with a few remaining showers and rumbles of thunder. A few showers have gone up in western Oklahoma from Woodward down to Hollis and Mangum to Sayre to Cheyenne. A few sprinkles there, then a few light showers over Freedom down to Shattuck and Arnett. So a slight chance in western Oklahoma, best chances in northeastern Oklahoma, and we are dry here in the metro this morning. If you're headed out the door, Broadway Extension looks really good. There's a live look there from our American Fidelity camera. 72 degrees right now and a dew point of 69. Statewide 70s. It's a warm start. No surprise there. Our morning temperatures are getting warmer, and we do have some south winds in spots that are a little breezier than others. This afternoon, 95 is our high temperature, and then we will have spots in the northwest and the southwest that will hit the triple digits. A south wind, a few gusts to 20 and 25, feeling like the triple digits. A very slight chance for a few sprinkles and showers in the north this afternoon. A slight chance for a few showers in the northwest later tonight as our temperatures fall into the mid 70s. The mornings are getting warmer and the afternoons are getting hotter. We'll be a degree or two warmer tomorrow here in OKC. Then on your Sunday, 97 degrees, and then we flatten it out. We don't start getting any hotter, which is the great news, as that ridge is just slowly nudging off to the east. More rain and storm chances look to make a return towards the end of next week.
Well, President Donald Trump has asked the Attorney General Pam Bondi to try to make some of the documents in the Jeffrey Epstein case public. The president says that decision is, quote, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein. The Attorney General today will be asking a judge to release that grand jury information. We'll be watching what happens.
CBS announces The Late Show with Stephen Colbert will end in May of 2026. The network says it's a purely financial decision. Colbert, meanwhile, expressed sadness over the decision and thanked the network.
More than 67,000 cases of roll-on Power Stick deodorant are recalled. It does include Spring Fresh and Powder Fresh scents. The FDA says it does not meet the agency's manufacturing regulations. More information on this on our website.
And now to the breaking news on the southwest side of the metro. I-240, the eastbound lanes just past I-44, a bad rollover crash. We watched as one person was loaded into an ambulance, was just left the scene. Crews now working to clean it up. Inside lanes on the eastbound side of I-240 are shut down, causing a big backup. We'll have the latest after this.
All right, welcome back. We are following breaking news. It is affecting the morning drive if you're headed on I-44 or I-240 by the airport. A rollover wreck that happened almost an hour ago. At least one person was hurt. We do see several people kind of over in the roadway on the left. Crews are still there. This is the shot from our Lex Stanfield. This is affecting traffic. I-240, the eastbound, right at the split. Traffic is backed up for miles almost all the way to I-40. If you're coming south, right there, it is impacting that morning drive.
Let's turn now to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan's standing by with your outdoor forecast today. Hey, Megan.
Hey, guys. We are in for another hot, muggy day. Surprise, surprise. A little bit of rain on the radar this morning, but here in the metro, we are dry. We will be dry over the next 4 to 5 days until that ridge of high pressure scoots back to the west. We'll talk more about that coming up. But out the door, we're in the 70s. By mid-morning, we're in the low 80s. We'll have a few high, thin clouds through the day, but the sunshine will be intense. The heat index values will be in the triple digits in many spots. 95 is our official high in Oklahoma City today. That's our warmest day since mid-May. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you're with your pets, taking them walking, protect their little feet. Make sure if you really can to walk them in those shaded areas. We'll talk more about how hot temperatures get here over the weekend and the rain chances as they return. That's coming up.
She wasn't targeted. She wasn't doing anything but being who I know her to be, and that was my daughter out enjoying life.
Coming up, a father wants change after his daughter was killed outside a Bricktown movie theater. How he hopes her story sparks action to stop gun violence.
And breaking news on the south side of the metro this morning. This is a live look. I-240 right at I-44, a rollover wreck. It is impacting traffic this morning. If you're traveling on I-44 or I-240, we'll show you more. And breaking news, a house fire near that area as well. It's coming up on 9.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
6:30, already a busy Friday morning as you are looking live at two breaking news scenes, basically right on the south side of the metro. On the left side of your screen, a rollover wreck. This is at I-44, right at the I-240 split. The wreck happened about 1 hour ago. One person has been injured, but it is impacting traffic. Really, if you're coming westbound, southbound on I-44, you are going to have slow going there because the wreck is impacting one lane at that I-240 eastbound split.
And just north of that crash scene, on the right-hand side of your screen, a house fire. This is at Southwest 37th and Woodard Avenue, so just across the street from Adams Elementary School. It looks like crews were able to get those flames knocked down, but the roof here, as you can see, has collapsed, and now they're working on those hot spots. Crews look like they're going to be wrapping up that scene soon. Unclear at this point if anyone was inside. We're still working to confirm if that house was in fact empty with the fire department. So we're going to continue to follow both of these scenes as it unfolds here this morning.
The other story today is the weather, how hot it's been. As we go to Megan Gold in the Bob Mills Weather Center, EMSA tells us they've responded to several heat-related calls because that heat index is kind of feeling hot out there, Megan.
It has. Heat index values 100 to 105, some isolated 105 to 108, especially off into eastern Oklahoma, those spots that have had so much rain. Here's the live look from our Norman Regional camera this morning. We do have some clouds overhead, more clouds off into western Oklahoma and northeastern Oklahoma. We've had a little rain, some thunderstorms during the overnight hours. The bulk of the widespread rains off to the north of Tulsa and then back into the Panhandle. Notice the complex that built in from New Mexico, the Texas Panhandles, has slowly weakened and fallen apart, but out ahead of it, along some areas of outflow, we've had a few showers go up south of Woodward, down near Mangum to Hollis, a few sprinkles near Cheyenne, and then also up to the north near Arnett to Shattuck and north of Freedom. Here in the metro, we have been mostly dry, but on the north and the northeast sides, seen a few heavy downpours pop up north of Prague over near Kearney to Stillwater. So a slight chance for a shower, thunderstorm or two on the north and east sides of the metro. 72 degrees right now, a dew point of 69. It is a warm and a muggy start to your Friday. We'll talk about your weekend forecast when rain chances return. It's all coming up.
Headlines right now at 6:32. A Metro father is grieving and now demanding change after his 18-year-old daughter was shot and killed last month near downtown.
Yeah, it happened outside the Harkins Theater in Bricktown after someone opened fire into a crowd. News 9's Deanne Stein shows how this family hopes to turn their pain into purpose.
Police have arrested two people in connection with Lyric Lewis's death, but for her father, justice isn't enough. He's demanding change to prevent gun violence.
She was just a fun-spirited kid. She was a friend, a sister, a daughter. She had dreams like everybody else.
It's difficult for DeAndre Lewis to share his heartbreak.
It's been a couple weeks now, but it still feels like it just happened.
Despite his pain, though, he wants to share his daughter's story.
She was my chessboard, but she was a big piece on a lot of people's chessboard.
Lyric Lewis was just 18 years old when she was killed by gunfire on June 24th in Bricktown.
I want her just to be remembered for who she was, you know, just a young woman that just graduated, that just made it 18, that just had her prom, that had dreams.
Police arrested 32-year-old Devin Stallings and a juvenile on first-degree murder complaints.
She wasn't targeted. She wasn't doing anything but being who I know her to be, and that was my daughter out enjoying life.
And why he is now making a plea for safety in her honor.
It's time for a change. Because to be so young and to be innocent and everything, I can't wrap my head around it.
He's calling for a stronger police presence downtown to stop the violence, hoping his daughter's legacy will protect other families from the same loss.
She was a friend, a sister, a daughter. Loss of life, there's no exchange. There's nothing that can replace what they just took from me and my family.
The family has set up a GoFundMe account to help with expenses and to support efforts to prevent gun violence. In downtown Oklahoma City, Deanne Stein, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
Have information about this case, investigators ask that you call Crime Stoppers 235-7300.
Boy, a big story from the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics. Authorities say they've taken down a major meth trafficking operation. This is far southern Oklahoma. This has been part of a 2-year-long investigation. Agents say they served 24 warrants in Murray County and that 18 people have been arrested. Agents also see 14 firearms they seized and a 1/4 pound of meth is off the streets. Those suspects have been booked into jail in Murray County on multiple trafficking charges. And 2 people are in jail this morning after police say they smuggling attempt. It was intercepted at the Cleveland County Detention Center. Deputies say a package containing illegal substances was mailed to an inmate there. Jennifer Guest and Clinton Briley were arrested and are now facing conspiracy charges. It's a busy Friday morning. 2 breaking news stories on the south side of the metro. Let's show you what's going on. Both scenes unfolding really right near the airport. This is 2 events on the right side of your screen. We're getting ready to hear from fire authorities who are basically responding to a house fire there at Southwest 37th. This is right off I-44 near the airport. Our news tracker says that no one was inside the home. Let's listen in to the fire chief there on the scene right now live.
Paul Nash, Battalion Chief. It's P-A-U-L-N-A-S-H.
Perfect. Will you just talk a little bit about what happened this morning?
Yeah, just about 6 o'clock this morning, we got a report of a house fire in the 3400 block of Southwest 38th. When we arrived on scene, we found a house that was well involved. About 50% of the structure was on fire. A neighbor was reporting there could possibly be someone inside. The first crew on scene did an excellent job getting inside, getting water on the fire, and getting a quick search. We were able to determine there was no one home at the time of the fire. We did find 3 dogs. All 3 survived. Currently, right now, we're just checking for hot spots, making sure it's out, and then we'll start moving on to cause determination.
And I saw some trucks were leaving, some were coming. Was there a shift change in the middle of this?
Yeah, right. We do shift change at 7 a.m., so there's some.
We're hearing now from Chief Nash on the scene. The good news here from this house fire this morning, no one inside. The dogs inside were rescued. This house fire right off I-44 at Southwest 37th. A little bit of commotion in that area.
And just a little bit further south from that other breaking news scene, a bad crash on the eastbound side of I-240 right after the I-44 split, a rollover crash. Looks like the flatbed just arrived to try and clear this out of the way. 1 lane closed. We saw a person taken on a stretcher, loaded into an ambulance, which just left about 20 minutes ago. So right now, the big problem is traffic on I-240 and I-44. The westbound side, as you're heading toward Lawton, a big backup all the way almost to I-40. So that's going to be causing you a lot of problems as you're heading south this morning.
Well, both these scenes unfolding just really kind of within the last hour. Again, be very careful on the roadway there. Basically, the traffic was backed up from I-40 all the way down to I-240. So just a heads up, there's been some construction in that area as well.
Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center now. Megan Gold standing by. And Megan, as we head into the weekend, it's going to be another hot one. You just got to be ready.
Yep, a hot and a dry weekend. We've had these daily pop-up rain and storm chances, and that goes away as we go into this afternoon, your Saturday, your Sunday. If you have outdoor plans, you are good to go. Sunscreen and hydrate. Had a few showers and a couple of rumbles of thunder building into western Oklahoma along an area of outflow from thunderstorms in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. A few sprinkles near Woodward up into the Freedom area, Shattuck to Arnett, little thunderstorm there, and a few heavy downpours have gone up on the east side of the metro. We'll talk about where the rain and storms are headed, how hot we get this weekend. It's coming up.
Also, we'll show you how Oklahoma investigators are cracking more crime cases using a national DNA database. We'll tell you more. It's coming up. And this.
Coming out of COVID, live entertainment outdoors took off, and it's going to continue to take off. There's a lot of supply of artists.
Plans for Yukon Sunset Amphitheater now off the table after the developer walks away. Why the company says Oklahoma City isn't being ruled out just yet. Back after this.
Welcome back. We are following two breaking news scenes here on the southwest side of Oklahoma City. A house fire. Colby, where is this?
This is right at Southwest 37th and Woodward, across from Adams Elementary School. It looks like fire crews are starting to wrap up the scene. They've been rolling up the hoses. We're told that no one was inside the home. There were 3 dogs that were able to get out of the home. Still some smoke rising off of the roof here. As you can see, firefighters kind of making their rounds, checking out any hot spots potentially here. But it looks like they've been able to put that fire out. When they got there, about 50% of the house was on fire. The roof has collapsed, but crews, it looks like, have been able to get it under control and are starting to clear.
That's from our news tracker, Joey Mitchell, live on the scene. Let's go to our news tracker, Lex Stanfield. He's just a further bit south from that location. This is I-240. You're looking live right at that I-44 split. And this is a rollover wreck that's happened well over an hour ago. One person was injured, loaded up into an ambulance, but this is impacting the morning drive. So if you are like heading southbound on I-44, headed over to I-240 to go eastbound, the morning drive could be very slow going. Megan's been kind enough to get up some of those ODOT cameras for us as well.
Yeah, I've got another look at the map, the ODOT camera on Links 1 control room, if we can take that. So you said impacting traffic, eastbound lane of I-240, also backing up on I-44. There's that view. It's been causing a slowdown for about an hour now, so a heads up if you are traveling I-44 to I-240 this morning. Give yourself a little bit of extra time out the door. I've got it for you on a map as well, and this is again in the eastbound lanes of I-240 at I-44. So we'll zoom in, showing the yellows, showing the reds. Again, the slowdown there right by the airport on the east side. I know we do have a lot of folks that get out early in the morning. Maybe you're walking your pets. Of course, the best time to do anything outdoors is in the morning. And if you do have pups, you know, I've got one myself. She's an old lady. She's 16 years old. She can definitely walk. I tell you what, she loves a good walk. When the air temperature is 95, just like it will be this afternoon, even the grassy surfaces are in the triple digits, 105. The concrete is 134 degrees. That is enough to burn their little paws. So if possible, walk them early in the morning and find shaded areas when possible. Asphalt, even hotter than that, 150 degrees. As we go through the month of July here, we've had our ups and downs. We've had numerous days in the 80s. We were 90 degrees yesterday with the clouds and some rain around, a few thunderstorms as well. So we've been in the 90s the last 3 days, and guess what? We add numerous more 90s to the month of July. Look at all the rain that we had yesterday. It started in the southwest and across northern Oklahoma during the morning into the afternoon. Additional showers and storms went up in the southwest and then fizzled as we lost the heating of the day. But across the region, numerous spots from back into New Mexico, the Texas Panhandle, and northern Oklahoma to southern Kansas have picked up several inches of rain, with spots off into eastern Oklahoma, Delaware County under a flash flood warning. I think that's expired now, but more than 5 inches of rain there. Here in the metro, couple tenths of an inch, so nothing all that high. Back into western Oklahoma, some of the heaviest rains, 1, 2 to even 3 inches of rain estimated by radar, and then back into the metro, half of an inch to an inch. Northern Oklahoma, as much as 1 to 2 to 3 inches of rain, and tracking more showers on the radar this morning. A few rumbles of thunder. This from a complex of storms that built into the Texas Panhandle while you were sleeping. It has been gradually weakening. Look at the spin there. An area of low pressure has developed, and along the winds that are flowing out from those storms, the outflow winds as we call them, had additional showers and storms develop across western Oklahoma. Nothing severe, really not much lightning with these, but a few heavy downpours will be possible up to the north. A thunderstorm near the Arnett area, the west sides of Woodward, and then also on the north side of Freedom. Those have dissipated. Seen a few showers go up near Luther, over near Prague to Stroud to Bristow, Mulhall to Stillwater. Again, a rumble of thunder or two, no lightning with any of that. So a 10% chance here in the metro, 20% chance in western Oklahoma, and highest chances in northeastern Oklahoma and far western Oklahoma in the Panhandle. Here's a live look at downtown right now. 73 degrees, a dew point of 69. It is a warm and a muggy start to your Friday. We will have many, many mornings like this as we go through the rest of the summer. Winds are pretty light. Look at the outflow winds. They have weakened, but that's where that north wind is coming into western Oklahoma this morning. Otherwise, we have a south wind into the afternoon. Heat advisories and excessive heat warnings in effect off to the south and to the east, off into eastern Oklahoma. We're not going to be quite that toasty here at home, but heat index values will still be in the triple digits. The ridge of high pressure, the heat dome, it is overhead here through the weekend. It starts to go over to the east some into the beginning of next week, and then it's going to get a shove back to the west, and that's going to allow us to bring rain chances back into the forecast as we enter into what we call northwest flow. We're on the eastern edge of that ridge of high pressure, and that will allow us to get those daily showers and thunderstorms that pop back up. The hottest temperatures will be back off to the west. So here into the afternoon, into the weekend, we're dry. And then Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, rain and storm chances start to come back. 95 is our high in Oklahoma City today. A south breeze, upper 90s, triple digits back to the west, feeling like the triple digits in many spots. And tonight, tomorrow morning, a slight chance for a shower or two in the northwest. Temperatures fall into the 70s, a south wind, and tomorrow we are back to toasty. Many spots back to the west in the triple digits. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself if you do have plans to be outdoors this week. And find a pool, find a lake. Your Monday, Tuesday, dry and hot with a few chances for rain at the end of next week.
Megan, thank you. A Honduran national in Oklahoma City has been charged with assaulting a federal officer. According to police, 34-year-old Jose Melgar Rivas refused to follow ICE commands. Here's his picture. And to get out of his vehicle, those were the commands. Instead, he drove off, dragging an ICE officer for nearly a block and injuring him. That officer is expected to be okay. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator James Lankford responded to the incident on social media. He says, quote, attacks on law enforcement will not be tolerated.
It is 6:50. A national DNA database is helping solve new and old crimes right here in Oklahoma. So when someone is convicted of a felony or booked into jail for a felony crime, their DNA is collected and stored in what's called the Combined DNA Index System database. During an investigation, a hit in that database allows police to name the suspect.
It can make associations where there were none before. So on a lot of cold cases and cases where there are no suspects, CODIS can be one of your last chances.
Many local and county agencies without labs actually rely on the OSBI to manage their DNA evidence samples.
The development group behind Yukon Sunset Amphitheater project says that it was the one that made the decision not to move forward. Well, earlier this week, city officials there announced they dropped the plans over feasibility concerns. Last year, Oklahoma City leaders rejected the same project. The ownership company Venue says it has appreciated the opportunity, and in a statement, a company spokesperson said, quote, while we have not closed the door on Oklahoma City with multiple nationwide developments currently competing for capital, our focus remains on communities that share our ambition, energy, and commitment to creating world-class entertainment experiences. Still ahead here on News 9, a piece of Thunder history hitting the auction block at Sotheby's, New York. How much Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game-worn jersey from the finals could go for? We'll show you after the break.
Also breaking news this morning here in the Metro. Basically, this is right at I-44, I-240, a rollover wreck. They're trying to clear the wreck. One person was injured. This happened early this morning. It's impacting the traffic on I-44 southbound by the airport. We're following the story. Keep it here on News 9. Welcome back. As we near 7 a.m., this rollover wreck trying to clear at I-240 and I-44. One person was hurt. This has been affecting the traffic on southbound I-44 and then as it turns eastbound I-240. So that should be clearing up very shortly if you are headed out the door this morning.
Check this out. Sotheby's New York will be auctioning off a game-worn jersey of SGA. The jersey worn in Game 3 of the 2025 NBA Finals. It's estimated to be worth $100,000.
Holy cow.
And Game 3 was a good one, right? Wasn't that the blowout game that the Thunder won? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Hey, don't forget to join us this Saturday at 6:30 for a new film presented by OKC Thunder Films and Prairie Surf Studios. It's called Incomparable and celebrates the unforgettable stories behind the iconic Myriad Convention Center. Don't miss it at 9. It might have been Game 4 that was the good one. I can't remember.
I just remember
That was a good one.
Oh, man. Megan's here eyeing another hot forecast. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. We do have a few folks in western Oklahoma and really on the east sides of the metro as well, with a few showers that have gone up. All of the storms coming in out of the Texas Panhandle have weakened, but back into the metro again. A few heavy downpours have popped up from Luther over to Stroud to Bristow and to Cushing. So about a 20% chance for a few showers and thunderstorms this morning. Higher chances to the west into the northeast.
All right. Hey, if you're out the door, make it a great day. One more look at some of that traffic there. It's kind of by the airport. I-44 southbound headed into I-240. There was a rollover wreck this morning, but it looks like they've cleared things off.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated. See you at 7:26.